Good morning, everyone. It is Taco Tuesday, August 3rd, and a look at our futures shows that we are moving up here a bit across the indexes. Yesterday we had more of a mixed page. Sorry, we had a more of a mixed session. We kind of that pop early and then kind of like a balloon just losing all of its air. It was just quickly deflated. So it's so important. We talk about it a lot that we have to watch for follow through on everything that we are doing. And the markets are incredibly resilient. That's all I can say. We are continuing. We are still an upward trend. So although we have these days where we are, we're just in a sideways channel. We're just consolidating here. We have to take that for what it is. Sometimes the markets just need a rest, and a much needed rest, to be honest, after this. This is a big climb. So here we are up this morning, up about 150 points in the Dow, up 16 in the S&P, NASDAQ's up 24, and the Russell's up just over 9 points here as we get going this morning. So that's where the market is when I'm doing my watch list. So if something changes drastically before then, you'll understand that this is where I'm coming from looking at the markets. Also, don't forget at the end of the week, we have the monthly jobs reports for July. So that on Friday morning before the open, we will get that report. And, it's a pretty big report every month. And we'll see where we are on the state of the economy off of that. Okay, so let's hop into a few charts. I want to quickly talk about QCON. I am in QCON, and it got hit with some news this morning. It is gapping down a bit. I'm going to manage that after the open, see if we get a reversal in that. If not, I will go ahead and step aside and just let that one be for now, and not hang on to something that is not going to be able to recover through the news. Okay, so a couple other names. We just want to quickly talk about Tesla. Tesla finally getting over that 700, staying over that 700, came right up here to complete this. It's kind of, I don't know what it is, kind of weird pattern, but we hit into the gap. There's a small gap here. We poked into the gap. We pulled back, closed just below this fib line. I like this for a continuation through yesterday's close. Again, to test that gap and then move through that gap. So just keep an eye on that on Tesla. The other electric vehicles were doing well. Held in NIO, really nice here, using all of those moving averages as a little bit of a jump platform and moving up. And they also have earnings coming up. XPEV used the most recent trend line that we had and pushed up very nicely. Again, earnings coming up in that. And Lee actually a little bit weaker here, so we'll keep an eye on the rest of them. We'll see if this holds as a see if we can come back up through that. But anyway, okay, let's move along. A couple that have just been monsters. AMD, my goodness, AMD just keeps cruising along so well. Great day trader, as we are so extended. And I've said this the last few days, that great day trader, but I believe that, and of course it's moving up this morning, how far can we continue to go? Well, to be honest, there's no ceiling, right? There's no ceiling as to how far we can go. Oh, actually, we're taking just a little bit of pause here. We are right inside near the close from yesterday, just a smidge below it. But we've done this before, right? Where we open just inside the candle, open just inside the candle, and continue to push. So perhaps we get another day like that. I would stick that to a day trade. And AMAT has been on our list now for the last few days. Really like it above this trend line. So it popped up really early, came back in, and settled just below this trend line. This is the area I like it at the 142.50 area. I'm watching the 917 145s in AMAT. All right, Zoom. We've had a lot of talk about stay at home, COVID variant, new mask mandates, companies actually mandating masks for employees. It just breeds a lot of fear. Zoom did really well yesterday. It opened, pushed down, and then came right back up over that 200. Looking for this trend change to actually continue here. I like it over yesterday's high. In Zoom, I would be watching the 917 400s. one that was brought to our attention by a member in the room. Upstart pushed beautifully above the 50 here, and you can see across the top of all these candle wicks. Ooh, let me move that down just a smidgen. There we go. Right, this is a sticky area for us here at the 133, around the 133.50 area. We want to push above that for continuation. I like the 820. I know that those are short, the 820 140s. They do have earnings coming up, so it would have to be a short play. I did not see anything in September that I particularly cared for. Maybe sticking to equity on that one would be a good idea. Square, they acquired or are acquiring a firm. We've had earnings. Look at this, just big push, closed out up outside. Above this trend line. We're going to look for a continuation on this through yesterday's close, which is at 272.38 to test the high and then potentially push on. I like the square 917, 270s and 280s there. So we'll see how the what the market does in the early going. Lending Club, after earnings, nice bullish gap, made a nice jump. You know, kind of stayed mostly inside this candle, and then yesterday pushing up, attempting to test those highs. We didn't quite make it. I like this for the continuation on LC. Kind of snuck into our scans here. 917.25 calls in LC. Oh, and Airbnb. Let's take a look at Airbnb. Now, this does have a lot of resistance right ahead, but look at this. We actually closed over the 50, so we've made our way just very orderly, kind of sneaking up here. We do have earnings coming up, so perhaps a little catalyst there. Would not hold through the earnings, but I do like this for a continuation above the 50, maybe a little bit tighter of a stop on it. I would look at the 917.145. And then because I just had to order dog food, let's take a look at Chewie. Check this out. We saw this actually yesterday afternoon. Talked about it yesterday morning. Using that 200, yesterday I was looking for the reversal on this where we used the 200 push up. We did just that. We came up, we have a little bit of a gap right here. I like this over yesterday's close. And on Chewie, I'd be watching that 917.85. All right, so a couple that I'm just starting to keep an eye on here. Knee. This is sitting at a nice level. I didn't set this up as a trade. This has made a very nice move. Energy has been, you know, kind of playing along here, pretty orderly. I like anything over yesterday's high in knee. I also like on Semiconductor. So they had their earnings, big gap up. We're going to look for a move above yesterday's close, not the high, above yesterday's close to test the high and continue on here. But you can see we put in a nice gap, and we'll see if this continues to hold as a bullish gap. And then another one we looked at yesterday, Nike. This thing is just continuing to trudge along here. It is on a very nice jaunt. Just keep an eye on it. Perhaps as a day trader, we did close below the high of or below the open of yesterday, but we'll see if we get a little reversal back up in Nike. Okay, that is it for me today. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, please reach out, heatherc@givingtreetrading.com.